What's going on, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Run the North podcast. And never before. Wow, my mouth is not working. Crazy. And never before seen twist of events. Me and Geek are alone today. It's just
Hello.
me and him. So we're gonna talk about football like we always do. We'll talk about this past week's Week 5 NFL games. We'll probably sprinkle in some baseball talk because that's going on.
Maybe a little
And
WNBA because I watched game 1 of the finals tonight.
And then we'll probably speed mode make our picks for Week 6. So before we get into all that, Mr. Geeky Boy, how are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I'd be doing better if the Seahawks didn't decide to be the most fraudulent NFL team to ever exist. Biggest
Yeah. Evo.
They had multiple chances tonight to beat the Niners and kept giving the ball back to the Niners.
Never a good idea.
Seattle is the frauds. That's what I know based on tonight. I might never pick them again if we're honest. You can't lose to the Giants and then give the game to the 49ers. You're just not allowed to do that. You're an unserious football team if you lose to the Giants.
We jumped the gun a bit on them as a team, I fear.
Well,
that 3-0 start looked a lot better than it was.
NFL fans are weird because they jump the gun and crown the Seahawks, but Minnesota starts 3-0 facing real teams, and they might not actually be any good. It's very confusing.
We still have to see. Still have to see about them. We still have to see.
All right,
who have they beaten? They beat the Packers, I guess.
Who have they beaten? Every good team.
They are. Never mind. I'm not gonna say that. No.
Bro's losing.
I can't say that. Well, I was gonna say, I hope the Vikings win the Super Bowl because then we would have lost to the Super Bowl champions. But I don't want the Vikings to win the Super Bowl.
What do you do if the answer is somehow the Vikings and the Lions are in the NFC Championship game after the Lions had Kirby Joseph literally bite off Jordan Love's kneecap because Dan Campbell likes to have his players injure other players? So you get that happening, right?
So hypothetically, the Lions kill Jordan Love,
right? And then go to the
game,
and then get to the NFC Championship game. So you got Vikings, Lions, and then the Browns are the AFC team.
Ugh.
Bro might actually put on a Vikings jersey and start doing the skull chant at that point. At specifically that point.
What would I do?
What would I do?
Well, if the Browns made the Super Bowl, that means DTR is starting. So I'd cheer for the Browns.
In this scenario, DTR has been fired into the sun. It's Deshaun or Jameis.
Well, then I'd probably just watch the game as a neutral football fan, I would say.
Boo!
I would do what Rob Lowe does and just wear an NFL hat instead of a team's hat and just be like, yay. Good football game, but it wouldn't be a good football game because the Browns would be playing. So
yeah,
that'd be
the biggest blowout in Super Bowl history, I think.
By far, yeah.
Yeah, that'd be tough. Deshaun against a Brian Flores defense would be embarrassing. Right now, with how he looks, that's no.
Yeah.
How are you doing
against the Commanders defense? Yeah. I'm good, dude. I'm good. So this is like kind of funny, but also not kind of funny.
Okay.
So this is really fun. Actually, I find it pretty funny now. This this dude when I was driving today, or no, it was not today. It was last week. Last week this dude brake checked me while we were driving. So I almost rear-ended him, so I honked at him, and then I just kept driving, and I was like, all right, this is chill. I was listening to my music. I pulled up to get gas, and the dude followed me, and I was like, I was like, what do you want, man? He's like, why'd you honk at me? And I was like, oh, maybe we almost got into an accident because you brake checked me. He was like, yeah, I was just testing you. And I was like, what? And then he just drove off, and I was like, what? Okay. So that was terrifying. I thought it was going to kill me for a second. So
That is not
yeah,
normal.
no, it's not. Yeah, it's not. People suck at driving in where I'm from. Like I experienced probably some of the worst drivers I've ever experienced in my life in good old Rochester. So I'm sure you don't have to worry about that. I'm sure the cows don't drive in Wyoming.
No, actually,
So
Wyoming drivers are awful. I mean, I think you forget that I have been in 3 car accidents that weren't my fault because people just ran stop signs and hit me.
I didn't even know that.
Yeah,
To be completely
it's
honest, I didn't know about a
ridiculous,
single
dude.
one of those.
And 2 of those 3 were in cars that I absolutely loved that got totaled, and I was upset. Because the chick ran the stop sign. Well, she was stopped. I had my blinker on to turn. I waited for a car. Car got by. I went to turn. She just plowed into the side of my car. And I'm like, yo, what the fuck? And then I tried to jump out to yell at her because she looked like she was going to drive off. My door wouldn't open because of where she hit it. So I opened my moonroof, grabbed a baseball, and chucked it at her car. Get the fuck back here.
Yeah.
She came back and she's like, why'd you throw shit at my car? I'm like, are you fucking stupid? Look at my car. Oh, what the fuck? Ridiculous. Yeah. Drivers are stupid and it bugs me.
Yeah. No, nobody's a good driver. Nobody. Except for us.
Right. I'm the only good driver. No.
Honestly.
Yeah. So where are we starting this week? Are we starting with baseball? Are we starting with football? Are we starting with the WNBA finals? There's a Minnesota team in a championship game, Jake.
Yeah. Yeah.
And they won.
I'm sure we know how this one will end. They'll probably go up like 3-0 and then blow it.
Hey, if they go up 3-0, they sweep because the WNBA only does best of 5.
Okay, they'll go up 2-0 and then blow it.
Honestly,
Whatever.
maybe. Because they won by 2 in overtime tonight, and Sabrina, I still don't really know how to pronounce her last name. I'm bad at names.
Ionescu.
Yeah. She shot like shit tonight. Like really bad. Like 8 of 27. We're probably not going to get that again. So
yeah,
we're going to have to get it together. We're going to have to get it together.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Liberty's year. They seem like they're dominating everybody. Like, I don't know. Sabrina's so good. And they took care of the Aces pretty well, and the Aces were the defending champs, and they were really good this year. So, I don't know. I didn't even know the Lynx were like good.
The Lynx are technically better than the Aces.
But, yeah. But also, I'm calling Mickey Mouse run for the Lynx beating the Connecticut Sun and who else did they beat?
They beat a team that also had a better record than the Aces. Connecticut Sun.
Yeah, Connecticut Sun were frauds though.
I don't know who else.
Yeah, that was my conclusion from watching the Indiana Fever Connecticut Sun series. But
they
overall,
played the Mercury first. I don't know who they are, but they played the Mercury.
Phoenix, yeah. No
damn,
team
Minnesota and bullying Phoenix
is getting my respect, bro.
But
yeah.
Minnesota does just own Phoenix at this point. That much we know.
And the 2 sports they have teams in?
No,
yes.
I think the Vikings play the Cardinals this year too.
They're in Glendale.
Okay.
Sorry, pal.
Okay, bud.
Different cities.
Okay,
different
bub.
cities.
All right, bub. All right, bub.
And wherever the Coyotes were, they're gone now too. So I don't know where in Arizona they were located at, but they're also now Utah, who has not lost a game. Might be the greatest team of all time.
Might be the
Utah Hockey Club 2-0.
Nice.
And also Max Celebrini, Sharks #1 overall pick, scored his first goal tonight in their opener in his debut. Sharks might be the best team in the NHL. If we're talking about hockey, Sharks might be the best team in the NHL with Max Celebrini now. Let's talk about that. We're just gonna talk about every sport, I guess.
I'm trying to think of WWE stuff that happened, but I got nothing at the moment.
Sharks are winning on the West Coast. They're on the second period.
um,
Suck. Um,
so the Royals are frauds.
Frauds? They weren't supposed to be there.
Yeah, but then when you're good and you make a Cinderella run, you can't lose in the divisional round. That's bad.
Yeah, I hope the Tigers come through in Game 5.
I don't
They
know,
did.
man.
They played well today. Just lost by a run. I don't know. I don't. I don't know. It's hard to imagine either of the two teams that are left beating the Yankees. Unfortunately, as much as
Especially,
I hate them.
I hate the Yankees,
Um,
but when you get Garrett Cole as your close out the series game guy,
yeah,
what are you
it's
doing, man?
over.
You just
Yeah, because I don't know. The Tigers. If the Tigers make it, the game that Screwball pitches, it'll be like a 0-2 run game for the Yankees because Screwball is the Cy Young winner, or going to be, and
yeah.
is just insane. He's shutting everybody down. And so I think the Tigers could win that one. I don't think they'll get swept, but the Guardians certainly are not good enough to beat the Yankees. They're barely hanging by a thread against the Tigers. So I think, me personally, I think it would be cool to see a Subway Series in the World Series, but with the Yankees and the Mets. But the Dodgers and Padres both look like absolute war machines right now. So
Yeah, it really does feel like the
I'm
World Series is
pretty
happening right
sure.
now in SoCal, and that's really
Yeah,
weird.
I'm pretty sure the NL is going to be represented by whoever wins that series.
Yeah,
Because the Padres, outside of last night, like completely different level. Like Tatis and I mean, Tatis is nuts, dude. But
yeah.
they're playing really well. I don't know. I think I think Padres Yankees would be really fun. Dodgers Yankees would suck because I hate both teams and I really couldn't find a rooting interest other than Shohei. Um,
Is Aaron
but
Judge gonna win MVP?
MVP?
Yeah, American
Uh,
League MVP, obviously. But
yeah, I'd probably. Bobby Witt Jr.'s up there for sure. He hit like 409 in the back half of the year. But Judge's home run production probably gets him there.
ooh, so the
And
big question is: it Lindor
yeah,
or Otani?
for Eno,
Yeah.
I don't think there's any way you can give it to anybody but Otani. I mean, the 50-50 thing is
Yeah,
absolutely
everybody's
insane,
argument
dude.
for Lindor is just that he plays defense. And, like, I'm
Yeah,
sorry, I don't. He doesn't play that good of defense. And also, I don't care. Like,
Shohei literally like created a record this year.
right. Like,
Like
he
he did
created a
something no one
club.
has ever done this year. And
And he
he did
almost did
it
a second
like
one. He almost got to
he
60-60.
yeah, like three more games and he probably would have been at 60-60. So I think it's Shohei. I think it's Shohei and Judge and Screwball and Sale probably
And
are the
then
two Cy Young winners.
Paul Skeens or Jackson Merrill. Because apparently Colton Cowser is walking away with it in the AL for Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
But
Skins for sure.
I agree, but everybody else is like, but Jackson Merrill plays every day. It's like, I don't care. If Paul
Who does
Skeens was
Jackson
on
Merrill even play for, to be honest? I
Padres,
don't know his name. Okay.
and he's
Okay,
been
that's who it
awesome,
is.
but
Yeah, no, I know he's been good, but I couldn't remember who he played for, to be
like,
honest.
dude,
Like, it,
and Jackson Merrill's been awesome. Like, he batted 292 this year with 24 home runs. Like, dude had an awesome
Skeens is
season.
like the most dominant rookie pitcher we've ever seen.
But Paul
Just
Skeens
about.
came in,
Like,
went 11-3 with an ERA
yeah,
sub 2, had 6
yeah,
WAR in only 133 innings pitched. Like,
yeah. I mean,
he had more
yeah.
WAR. There you go. There's
He was
the answer. WAR is always the deciding factor, it seems like.
He was the starting all-star pitcher in his rookie season, and he didn't even play half of the first half of the season. So, like,
Right.
yeah, I think it's definitely Skeens.
I
Um,
agree. I concur.
um,
Now I got to look,
But
though. Otani and Francisco Lindor when it comes to WAR, because I was just making the WAR argument. Yeah, Otani's
it's
winning.
probably Ohtani by a mile.
It
Yeah.
is. I was seeing if the defense mattered, man. I was seeing if
The
Lindor was
craziest part
Gold Glove level.
is like if Ohtani pitched this year, it would be unanimous.
Oh yeah.
That's the craziest part is that he did all this stuff and he didn't even pitch this year. Like he was like the most valuable player on the Dodgers and in the league by a mile, and he didn't even do half of what he's so good at.
Yeah, dude.
Like
Imagine
once he starts to
to
pitch again, yeah, it's wraps.
They've been talking about how he's still like he's working on trying to pitch in the postseason. Imagine if he's the closer versus the Yankees in the World Series.
I mean, certainly could be.
Like, just crown him at that point, you know? Just crown him. Greatest ever.
How close is he to being the greatest of all time?
Dude, with baseball, that's so weird.
Is he the closest active player in any sport to being the GOAT of their sport?
No.
Mahomes. Or is it Mahomes still?
I think it's Mahomes.
You think Mahomes is closer?
The issue with Otani...
No rings?
In baseball, I don't give a fuck. I'm not going to lie.
Well, neither do I. Yeah, but that's the generic argument.
I only care about that in football if you're a quarterback. Like, I'm sorry, you're a defensive end who never won a ring. I don't think that's your fault. You know what I mean? Like,
no. Right. Yeah. Probably not.
But in baseball's too much of a team sport. Like, but I don't know if Otani's numbers are ever going to match with, like, greatest of all time style. I don't know if he ever gets there. But, like,
Ruth.
Do you look
Ruth,
at it the same way?
Ruth.
It's also the thing with, like, Jordan and then LeBron, and however you want to argue that, I don't care. That's not what's important. But you look at them, neither of them, LeBron's getting there in some stats, but neither of them won the most rings. Neither of them have every record for everything. But you knew watching them play, this is the greatest player to ever live. I think you can make that argument really easy right now with Shohei.
Yeah.
Like, you just look at him and, like, this is the greatest player to ever walk on this planet.
I think I'm in the same camp with Shohei as I am with Mahomes, where I'm not crowning him to go yet, but I think that he's the most talented player to ever play the sport.
Yep.
You know, like, for sure. I think he'll get there.
Yeah. The numbers might never say it, but, like,
baseball. Yeah.
He also didn't get to join the majors until he was, you know, a little older. But, and then injuries early in his career were tough, but it's all right.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's every other sport that isn't football. So,
now we have to talk about Baker and Kirk.
Football. Yes. Geek, I have a question.
What's up?
Is this the best game of Kirk Cousins' career?
Yes.
Yeah.
And he still almost lost.
Yeah.
Because that's about how Kirk do. Even when he plays well, he tries to lose.
Yeah, well, not this time. Falcons 36. Buccaneers 30. Kirk Cousins 509 passing yards, 4 touchdowns.
I want to execute whoever the Falcons offensive coordinator is again.
Robinson?
Don't care. He doesn't deserve to be human. Stop giving Bajan 12 touches a game and not having him on the field. He's your best player. Use him.
He had 15 touches this game.
I don't care. Hey, who's the Jets' best offensive player is Garrett Wilson. He had 48 targets last game.
Wrong. It's Alan Lazard.
Maybe.
Cooked again.
Miller made an argument last week that Bucky Irving should be running back 1 in Tampa, and then Rachaad White immediately decided to be better, which is really funny.
Man, one big run that kind of padded his stats. And one big run where he looked remarkably slow and should have taken to the house. And Bucky Irving would have taken to the house had he been in the same exact scenario.
Apparently Darnell Mooney just needed a real QB. That's tough.
Yeah, he almost sold the game with one
He's
of the
still
worst
got
drops I've ever
Bozo
seen.
Gene.
Yeah.
He's still Darnell Mooney. But
Yeah, but Drake London, good. Earl Hodge saved the game in overtime. So that was a fun little twist. But yeah, Kirk Cousins lights out. Baker Mayfield lights out. Great quarterback game. Um, yeah, it's weird because Baker Mayfield didn't have to do nearly as much as Cousins did, and they still almost won.
yeah,
Like he threw for over 300 less yards, and they still almost won.
yeah.
So yeah, it was nuts. But yeah, the NFC South is going to be interesting, other than the Panthers. So we'll
I don't
see
know
how that
with
all shakes
how
out.
kind
But
of weird the records are for each of these teams. If the Panthers just figure it out tomorrow, they could make it interesting.
yeah, sure, they won't. But
They
if they
won't,
did,
but okay. If Bryce Young looks like how he did for the 3 plays he got at the end of last week for the rest of the year, they win the NFC South. I guarantee it.
I'm not going to see the field the rest of the year.
Did you
So,
see?
Yeah,
Did you see the one throw he made though?
I saw the
It
throw.
looked a little
I saw the
Mahomey.
throw. Yeah, it looked a little Mahomey. That's true. That's true.
They still lost, by the way.
Yeah,
You want to talk about your old quarterback? Got anything to
London
say?
game. Well, here's the thing, right?
Mhm.
Bad game. Both teams. Bad game. And neither team really popped off the
No, this was a
the
great
screen.
defensive game. Both
Oh,
defenses were
sure.
sick.
Yeah, but really, like, this is what the Vikings offense can be reduced to if they face a good defense at the Jets.
So
To
here's
be
the thing,
fair,
though. There's only one
they
defense in the
haven't
NFL that
really.
can do that to us. Because there's only one defense with that secondary. No other secondary can do that to our receivers.
I'm so glad Miller's in here because he'd be sitting there and he'd be smiling, and
Yeah,
we'd say, "Yes, Miller,"
and he'd say the Bears.
No, he wouldn't say, he would say the Bears, but he'd also be like, the Niners."
We watched our. We beat the
And
Niners
yeah,
without TJ and Jordan Addison. The
no,
Niners
he
don't
would
fucking
still
matter.
say it.
I
He
don't
would
care,
still
and
say
I'd
it.
scream at him.
When I tried to say that the Niners secondary wasn't like a test for the Vikings a few weeks ago, Miller was like, "Are you you're so stupid." So yeah.
Yeah,
Anyway,
dude, the
um,
Niners secondary's not that good. And Sauce, and honestly, it's not even Sauce. Sauce can't cover JJ, and it's really funny. We've learned this both times because every time he tries to, it's a PI because he just holds him. And you know who is maybe the best corner in the league for covering Justin Jefferson? DJ Reed. That dude is incredible.
DJ is really good. And
Absolutely
we've been doing that.
smothering. Garrett Wilson. Here's my thing with the Jets. I don't understand firing Robert Saleh. The Vikings do have one coach in their, death store now, though. That's fun. And we'll probably get another. Doug Peterson, I'm looking at you.
Yeah, they've got 2 London games in a row, and if they lose both of them, it's wraps.
Wait, who else is in London? Oh, wait, the Jaguars get London 2 weeks in a row?
They go Bears, Patriots back to back in London.
If they lose
So if they
either
lose-
of those, it's wraps immediately.
Well, Salah apparently I haven't looked at like the history, but apparently like Salah is like the 5th or 6th coach to get fired post London game. So I'm
Nice.
assuming if they go 1-1, I'd probably fire Peterson. So
My goal, I hope that
yeah.
they keep hanging on to him until the Vikings show up because I just want to keep adding coaches to our "we got them fired" repertoire because that's really funny.
Yeah.
I don't know who
Yeah,
else we can
probably-
get fired, but I want to get as many coaches fired as possible.
Yeah, the thing. Okay, well, I don't understand really. I didn't watch this game because it was a Sunday morning, and then obviously, yeah, I wasn't really around much for this one. But it just seems weird running the ball only 14 times against a defense whose only slight weakness is running the football.
Well, so it helped that the Vikings did what the Vikings do, get out to an early lead. Then
Yeah,
there was nowhere for them to run. Minnesota's defensive front bullied the Jets so bad.
I guess I'm not surprised.
The only run they had that went for more than 6 yards was one play when Ivan Pace was injured. Ivan Pace was making plays in the run game. It was hilarious. Ivan Pace goes off the field for 3 seconds. They have a decent run. I'm like, oh, we need Ivan back. Please help.
Yeah.
I got scared for a second because if the Jets could get their run game going, that is the only thing that really scares me from another team. Rodgers, though, here's my thing. Robert Saleh did not deserve to get fired because the only reason the Jets are a competitive football team right now is because of Saleh's defense. That's it. Maybe, Aaron, you shouldn't throw your coach under the bus when you decide to skip mandatory minicamp and skip training camp for half of it and have zero chemistry with Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson was open 7 or 8 times this game, and Rodgers just missed. Aaron Rodgers can only throw to Allen Lazard. That is the only guy on this team that Rodgers has figured out how to throw to. The Jets' offense is the least scary offense in the NFL, which is depressing with how good they should be. But it's all because
Devontae Adams.
I was talking about this earlier. Tom Brady is the greatest of all time because he didn't have all the talent in the world. He was just like the hardest worker, right? Aaron Rodgers has all the talent in the world, but just doesn't give a shit, and you can tell. He does not care about football. And we have the perfect mix of those two in Patrick Mahomes. All the talent plus Brady's work ethic, and it's the most annoying thing we've ever seen.
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers, if he had just a little bit of give a shit, would have been the greatest of all time. Instead, he's seeing ghosts in a game against Sam Darnold. The wrong quarterback was seeing ghosts.
Yeah, well, to be fair, Brian Flores' defense.
True.
Man.
Harrison Smith
overall,
sacked Aaron Rodgers and did the discount double check, and that made me really happy.
I think Rodgers has done that in a decade.
2 years ago against the Bears, I think, was the last time.
I think he only did it against the Bears.
Yeah.
In recent history, it's only because he hated the Bears so much. Yeah, that was a lot. Yeah, I missed the discount double check. Everything was much happier when Rodgers was doing the discount double check.
Andrew Van Ginkel, Defensive Player of the Year. Thoughts?
No, Fred Warner.
Fred Warner's team can't win. He makes no impact on whether his team is good or not. The defense sucks. He's okay.
He's okay?
Fred Warner's the best linebacker.
Did you see his pick six?
He had one pick six that's half as good as Andrew Van Ginkel's two. That's fine.
You can't be the DPOY if you're not the number one guy at your position, and Van Ginkel is nowhere close. So,
name another person who plays the same position as Andrew Van Ginkel. You can't, because nobody does, because Gink doesn't play a position.
Okay, well, you have to be the best defensive player in the league to win Defensive Player of the Year, and he's not.
So far this year, maybe he is.
Give me Xavier McKinney over this guy. 5 interceptions in 5 games.
The interception against the Vikings wasn't an interception, and you know it.
No,
he never had control of that ball. Don't lie. Don't lie.
Yes, he did.
No, he didn't.
I'm not lying. He had it.
He didn't. He never had control of the ball. Never figured it out.
He did. That's my agenda.
That's fine.
Also wasn't watching because I was mad at the Packers during that section of the game, and then they started to come back.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming because he's a Packer, he caught it and had full control.
Nick Mullins is the GOAT, but also the biggest piece of shit of all time, and I hate him. Getting one play and it's 3rd and 2 and you just chuck a 30-yard pass, pretty great. Horrible throw. Aaron Jones had to go make a play, and it got Aaron Jones hurt because he had to jump over a defender and then get killed. So Nick Mullins, I think you should. Sam Darnold got hurt.
Oh.
And so remember the game started out really good for the Vikings offense, and then it started to suck. Yeah, when it started to suck was right after Sam Darnold, I'm pretty sure, broke multiple ribs.
Oh, that's fun.
Jets just fucking laid him out. Went to the sideline, looked like he was in incredible pain, regained his breath because the wind got knocked out of him, and then he came back. But Nick Mullins came in, made one throw, got Aaron Jones hurt, and now we all hate Nick Mullins.
Yeah. All right.
Football.
Bears 36, Panthers 10. Before we look at the box score, Geek, can you tell me who the leading receiver on the Panthers was this week? The answer is no, you cannot. Although I love this guy in this year's draft. He's a rookie.
So it's a rookie.
Love this guy in this
It's
year's draft.
not Xavier Legette.
It is not Xavier Legette, although I did love him too.
Who the hell else? Is he undrafted
You'll
or was
never
he drafted?
get this. I'm not even sure if he was drafted. He was one of my more underrated receivers.
Okay, here, give me one hint. Where did he go to school?
The Cross.
I remember you mentioning him, but something Coker. I don't know his first name.
So, yeah, Jalen Coker. He was drafted
Okay.
in the UFL.
Oh.
He was drafted in the UFL and then signed as an undrafted free agent by the Panthers.
All right.
But Jalen Coker at 68 yards in this game.
Incredible,
Leading
dude.
receiver. Yeah.
He also had the second most receptions. Tied for the most.
I don't know. It's the Panthers. I don't know.
Bears defense
good
good,
game.
so that's not
game.
surprising.
Bears defense. Bears
offense
be elite. Yeah.
looked real though, so you got to give them credit for that. They looked like a real offense, maybe for the first time all year.
It's hard. Again, it's hard to know if they're for real against a defense as bad as the Panthers, but good offenses should look like this against the defense of the Panthers.
They did their job, and we can't be mad at them.
If they can continue to do this against defenses that are slightly more challenging to go against, like Brian Flores, and the Vikings, maybe they're going to be legit. However, I think the Bears offense is 1 year away from being what it's going to be.
I think I agree with that.
So we'll see. I don't know who the Bears have this week. They have the Jaguars. Oh, so they could have another.
You get a little string of games going. That'd be sick.
They could have another solid offensive performance, but overall.
But it's also in London, so the Jaguars might murder them.
True.
The Jaguars in London are the best team in all of football.
This is true. Yeah, they played a solid game against a bad team, so not too much to talk about there. From what we saw in the game, Bryce Young might need to come back.
Right? Yeah.
One. Like 3 throws, and one of them was more than any throw Andy Dalton's ever made.
Yeah.
So let's maybe Bryce Young getting benched was the fire he needed.
Maybe.
Let's bring him back and see what happens. But the rookie quarterback I really want to talk about is the guy who plays in Washington.
Yes.
Commanders 34, Browns 13. The Browns stink. Let's start with that. They stink, dude. They're bad football team.
Yes. Kevin Stefanski absolutely cannot let Deshaun Watson start another game.
I cannot believe he's made it this far, to be honest.
I know this isn't coming from Kevin Stefanski. Like, him playing is not a Stefanski decision. It just can't be. What I think is happening is he's being told by ownership and GM, you have to start him because of what we're paying him. But after last week, as a head coach, you cannot trot Deshaun back on that field. After that 4th down play where Kevin Stefanski said we're going for it, and Deshaun walked off the field like a little bitch and forced them to bring in Jameis, as a coach, you cannot let Deshaun start another game for you. You cannot. You'll lose the locker room. It'll be done.
DTR, baby. He's back.
It should be DTR, but it'll be Jameis, and that makes me upset.
It'll be Jameis.
But
yeah, Jameis
at least the Browns would be a real football team with Jameis. Not because Jameis is good, but he's willing to just throw it around, and I mean, that's how they won games with Flacco last year.
Jameis Winston is better than Deshaun Watson.
Yes, 100%.
So they'd probably win a couple more games.
And Nick Chubb's coming back soon, so like...
Yeah.
If you get rid of Deshaun, you can become a real football team soon. But you're going to have to do it like right now.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, dude, Jaden Daniels is legit, I think.
He's so good.
I think he's so good, dude.
Me and Miller talked about this
a certain person on this podcast believed that he was going to be anything but what he is.
So here's one thing that is, me and Miller talked about this last week. This absolutely does have to be taken into account. At least for him and Caleb. I won't talk about Bo Nix. He was never in the conversation. Never will be. But for Bo Nix for Jaden Daniels and Caleb Williams. Jaden Daniels has looked incredible. I'm never going to argue differently. Jaden Daniels has looked like the best of the rookie quarterbacks so far. He's been great. He is being helped out by a way easier system. Cliff Kingsbury, it's the same system he ran with Kyler, and it's just a college offense. That's not saying Jaden can't run a real NFL offense. It's that he's not being asked to. And you can see how frustrated Jaden Daniels is at certain moments with that offense. You're seeing the same thing from him that you saw from Kyler Murray. But here's the thing that Jaden Daniels is doing right now that's better than most rookie quarterbacks ever. He's unafraid to take the deep shot, which is always great, but he's also willing to take the check down when it's needed. And he's looking to pass before looking to run. So he's making his reads, he's taking the check down if he needs it, or he's running, which means there are 3 different ways they can get a first down on every play, which most teams don't have. The only other teams that have that are the Bills and the Ravens right now.
He still led an offense that at one point this year went for 16 straight scoring drives.
No, 100%. He's been the best rookie quarterback so far, and you could argue he's in the MVP conversation right now.
Yeah, I mean, regardless, running an easy system, but again, you still have to execute, right?
100%.
Certain players, like Sean Watson on the Commanders this year, wouldn't be anything like what Jaden is.
No.
Right.
And if you
flipped Caleb and Jaden, I don't know what the situations would be. I don't know how Caleb would be with Cliff Kingsbury's offense.
Jaden would look a lot worse.
How Jaden would be with the Bears.
But that's because the Bears' offense is really stupid. It's not a bad offense. It's just really dumb. But, okay. But I think in the long run, me and Miller also talked about this. In the long run, the Bears' offense being as, insane as it is right now is good for Caleb long term. Because he's figuring it out first. Because, in 2 years when Cliff Kingsbury gets fired because he's fucking awful at his job and Jaden has to learn a different NFL-style offense, it's going to be more difficult. You're going to see the growing pains you're seeing from Caleb right now, or the pains you see from Jalen Hurts sometimes, where the offense has changed and he has to learn something new. But Jaden Daniels is awesome. And I hope that we could have the debates that the 3 of us have, not what Twitter is. Twitter doesn't matter to me, but the Jaden Daniels, Caleb Williams debate for all time. I just want to hear it forever. I hope we get that, unlike the Andrew Luck, Robert Griffin III debate, where you only got that for a year. I hope we get to just continuously have this forever.
Either of these 2 guys are playing in a style right now that suggests they'll end up like those 2, though.
That's true.
Hopefully.
Jaden Daniels has stopped doing the bozo gene. I'm going to get murdered all the time. He's protecting himself
a lot more than he
did in college.
And Caleb Williams doesn't get hit a lot. No. Well, he does.
Well,
but not because of his own fault. It's because his O-line wants to kill him sometimes.
Yeah. Austin Eckler pretended to be good at football again, and that hurts my soul.
Yeah, we can use the college offense term as derogatory towards him.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, NFL vet can barely run an easy college offense.
Yeah. Worst game of ever.
Hey, do we have to talk about this one at all? I mean, dude,
Dolphins win.
There's just really nothing of substance here.
Jalen Wright good at football. Wright
breakout. Yeah, that's it. I got nothing, dude.
Tyreek Hill posted on his Snapchat story today all of the highlights of him on the Chiefs. So, going back? I don't know.
Can he?
I don't know.
Isn't there? I'm just asking, when did he get traded? Because there's a rule in the NFL that I just found out from listening to another podcast that if you get traded, you can't get traded back to that team within 3 years. You have to wait 3 years to get traded back.
There's no way that's traded.
It is. I literally was just listening to a podcast and they were talking about Tyreek and it came up with him. I don't think they ever got an answer on it.
There's no way. NFL trading rules, according to Sports Rec. I don't know who you are. Never mind. Let's go. Nope. Nope. None of these are telling me rules. Okay, maybe I do need to read Sports Rec. That's the NFL draft. Trading between teams. I don't know. I don't even know how you'd figure that out. Maybe that's a rule. I don't feel like it is, but maybe it is. How long has he been a Dolphin, though? He's been a Dolphin since 22, 23, 24. I don't know. I don't know if he can or not. I don't know how it works.
Okay. The NFL team rules that a team can reacquire a player via trade within 2 years of the trade's execution.
Weird. That's weird, though. What the fuck?
So he can be because it's only 2 years.
Okay,
But
so he can go back.
That is a rule. But
That's
yeah, he
really
can go
dumb.
Back. He can go back.
Also, can we free Odell again? This is unfortunate.
Game.
I don't care.
This is the only game he's played.
There's no quarterbacks on this team.
Nah, Tua will be back. They already said that.
That's dumb.
But he will be. Doesn't matter if it's dumb. He shouldn't have come back the first 4 times he had a concussion.
I don't want to watch him get concussed again. We know we're gonna. Dude can't fall to save his life.
If he trots out there without a guardian cap, was back.
I don't think a guardian cap's gonna help him.
It'll help him a little bit. I mean, that's what it's designed
well,
for.
actually, a lot of current helmets are safer than a helmet with a guardian cap.
All right, well, he's just stupid.
And also, it would add weight to his helmet, which is he has a weak neck, which is what causes him to get whiplash and smack his head. Putting a guardian cap on would give him more concussions. The way he gets concussions, it would give him more concussions, I think.
It doesn't matter. He's going to get a concussion.
Yeah, I don't like it. Drake May will be starting for the Patriots soon.
He's going to die.
Yeah.
Starting him against the Texans pass rush and that offensive line. He's going to die.
Yeah, but KJ Osborne breakout. Let's go.
I feel horrible.
The Jaguars continue their reign of dominance over the Colts in Florida. Colts just can't win in Florida.
0-11 in their last 11 in Jacksonville.
Yeah.
I think is the stat.
Joe Flacco might be the best quarterback in football, though.
Is Joe Flacco better than Anthony Richardson?
Yeah.
At throwing the football, the answer is yes. I mean, as a dual threat, obviously not. But at throwing the football,
he had that run though.
Respectfully, Richardson is not throwing for 359 and 3 tuds in this game. Respectfully,
watch him do that next week, just as a fuck you.
I want him to. I love Anthony Richardson. Yeah. I want him to be so good. But maybe this is the fire he needs. Anthony Richardson, I know you're listening to the show. I know you listen to the show every week. You suck. You're terrible.
Damn.
Nobody believes in you.
You've lost again and again and again.
Now he'll go off. Trust.
Anyway, Tank Bigsby better than Travis Etienne?
I'm sorry, I love Travis. He might be, but I love Travis. I'm not gonna give up on him yet.
I think the Jaguars should trade Travis Etienne.
I think Travis Etienne is disgruntled.
Oh, good. Maybe he should get traded.
Either that or the Jaguars hate him because he's
one of those two.
There was a shot last week of him perfectly healthy, just standing on the sideline with his helmet off, looking remarkably depressed. And
okay, when the other guy's averaging 8 yards a carry, though.
Yeah. Well, not even like against the Colts, but like the week before. He was standing on the sideline with his helmet off, and the announcers were like, yeah, he's perfectly healthy. We don't know why he's not in the game. And he was just saying they're looking real pissed off. So I don't really know what's going on there.
So as somebody who saw the Vikings offense without Aaron Jones, I would give anything for us to trade for Travis Etienne to be our backup right now.
Baby Aaron Jones. Yeah.
Right.
I mean,
like, so Aaron Jones goes down. We just get Aaron Jones, but slightly worse, to step in. And we're okay. Fair. Also, I'm a little over Ty Chandler right now. After that fumble, I'm done with him. Because that fumble counted towards Sam Darnold for some reason. It was a pitch that hit Ty Chandler, like, perfect. And he just dropped it.
Yeah.
Jets ball.
If it's a backwards ball, then
I
think
know,
it's a fumble for
but
the
it's
running
like
back unless he actually controls it at some point.
it's just stupid. He got both hands on it. That's his fault.
Oh yeah,
Ugh,
yeah, yeah.
it makes me upset. So give me Travis
But
Etienne. Thank you.
Trevor Lawrence. Trevor
He's back.
Lawrence.
He was never down, but he's
He's
back.
back. Yeah. Trevor Lawrence, Brian Thomas Jr.
BTJ.
Good receiver.
Yeah.
Alec Pierce. Alec Pierce is a good receiver.
Michael
I
Pittman.
really
Why did he get paid?
great question. With AD Mitchell and Alec Pierce and Josh Downs existing, really much of a reason to do that. And seeing as he's outproduced by all three of them most games this year,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. But I think the Jaguars aren't that bad, or aren't as bad as we're saying they are.
Well, they are
If Trevor
because
Lawrence
they're
plays like
horribly
this,
coached.
yeah. If Trevor Lawrence
played
plays
like this
keeps
all
playing
year,
like
though.
this,
His receivers
it's
can't
hard.
catch.
It sucks that they have to go against the Bears secondary
Yeah.
because he only has one good receiver, and Jalen Johnson will take care of that. So it's going to
And then
rely
their
on him.
defense sucks,
It's
so
gonna rely
Caleb's
on-
going to do whatever he wants.
Yeah, defense is trash, bro, and they're poorly coached. So
Yeah.
yeah, get Peterson out of there. I don't
Yeah.
know who the interim would be, but I don't care. Get him out of there.
Bring Urban Meyer back.
Yeah. All I know is that both Bills fans and Jaguars fans want Mr. Belichick. So
Valid. And the Bills
not Bill
probably
fans,
need
Jet
him.
fans, sorry. Yeah.
The Bills also probably want him because I'm sorry, Sean McDermott might be the dumbest coach in football.
This is a perfect transition into this game, honestly. So
it really is.
let's rock it.
McDermott,
what happened?
he's been head coach for 10 years, and he still
What
can't
happened
figure out
with
how to
that clock
call the end of a
management,
game.
bro? That was nuts.
I hate it. Like,
I
D'Amico
cannot
gets
believe
a
I saw
break,
that NFL
at least a
field.
little bit, because this is like the first time he's had to do it. He gets a little bit of a break. McDermott, you have been a head coach for a decade, and you still don't get it. That game is a fireable offense. Also, Josh Allen's ass.
Yeah, he was just terrible.
9 of 30
9
is
of
insane.
30. The Texans secondary isn't even that good. Their pass rush is good.
Well, so
but
the Bills, I've been saying this all year, don't have any good receivers.
yeah. Okay, listen, let's run this back quick.
Yeah.
The Bills' 3 wins, the Cardinals' defense, respectfully, not great. And they barely squeaked that one out. The Jaguars might be the worst team in football. Poorly coached, terrible defense. Offense was bad to start the year, and still is.
Yeah.
And the Dolphins.
Where Tua got hurt.
Defense. And Tua got hurt. And the defense for the Dolphins has been bad. Right? Like,
yeah.
Their 3 wins are against 3 teams, 1 that didn't have their quarterback, and 2 that have bad defenses. So, like, in reality, are the Bills really that good?
No, I tried to tell everybody this early in the season. Nobody wanted to listen.
Because their defense isn't even that good.
No, it's not.
Right?
It looked okay against
got
Tua
propped up by
and
no Tua and a team
Trevor
with
Lawrence.
one receiver.
But it wasn't even Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah.
It was Trevor Lawrence's receivers forgetting how to catch. Remember, Christian Kirk had 4 drops.
Yeah. I mean, it wasn't even, so they had to deal with, and they've been propped up against, and the Bills defense got torched by Kyler and the Cardinals before Josh Allen turned it on a little bit. So in reality, this game only confirmed what I already knew to be true.
Yeah.
That the Bills are.
CJ Stroud had his eureka moment. That might be the greatest Theo Ash video of all time.
Yeah, I know just what I'll do.
I don't know what the fuck he's doing. I know just what I'll do.
I know just what I'll do. I'll run for a first down. Yeah, I don't know.
What the fuck is he doing there? Because there's no receiver. Because my head, I thought he was pointing at somebody to, like, go upfield.
I did the same thing.
It's either eureka or it is the look up there.
Yeah, because Kyler did the same thing this past week against the Niners.
Oh.
When he got loose he knew he was gone. He just he did the
Well,
thing,
no, he
you
put
know.
his whole arm up. He was celebrating. I think he was just
Yeah,
celebrating. He
it's
scored
just so funny
40 yards
that like
before the end zone.
Stroud wasn't even, 'cause, like, Theo zoomed in on his face. He wasn't even looking at downfield. He was like at the sideline. He was just like,
Coach, I know
"I've
what to
got it.
do.
I know just what I'll do." And D'Amico's like, "Yes, CJ, run for the very wide open first down. Go ahead." Like, yeah, that was funny. CJ Stroud, yeah.
Good at football.
Nico
Stephon
Collins got
Diggs,
hurt.
good at football.
Nico Collins is on IR. This is bad. This is real bad.
I don't
On
think the
pace to lead
Texans
the
are
league
going to
in
notice.
receiving. No, Diggs and Dell are fine. I just
And
love Nico, and
Xavier
he was on
Hutchinson,
pace
it's
to,
Xavier Hutchinson breakout season. Actually,
yeah.
instead, I'm going to root for it's John Mechie breakout season. My goat,
How many snaps has he played this
like 7.
year?
But I mean, they had Nico Collins, Stephon Diggs, Tank Dell, and Robert Woods, and Xavier Hutchinson. Where was the room? You know?
Yeah. Dorian Williams, the Bills and tackles, my goat. But yeah, this was still a close one, but unfortunately Tyler Bass sucks. No. Unfortunately, Kaimi Fairbairn good. That's what happened.
Kaimi Fairbairn
Yeah,
is
Fairbairn.
good. And did Tyler Bass miss?
No,
No.
I was thinking as if the Bills were down by 3 and Bass missed, as opposed to the Texans, as opposed to it being tied and Fairbairn hitting the game winner.
See, I don't know why this game was close. I mean, the Texans bullied them in basically every way. I guess turnovers. Turnovers is why it was close. A pick and a fumble from the Texans.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Bills aren't a real team. You know who else
Nope.
isn't a real team? The Cincinnati Bengals.
It's crazy.
They're not a real team.
This is a crazy football game.
I love Lamar and Joe Burrow just going shot for shot, though. That's my favorite thing in the world.
Yeah, I mean, dude, like, yeah, generational QB play in this one.
Yeah.
Obviously, like,
Though I do want to say
Chase,
more generational Jamar Chase in this one, I think.
yeah, he was crazy.
2 of those touchdowns were like screen passes. Lamar was having to throw.
Yeah.
Burrow was having to, Jamar, do thing.
Yeah, and T. Higgins was great in this game. And
Yeah.
yeah, overall, Bengals offense humming, but their defense can't stop anybody.
Nope.
So yeah, Derrick Henry had his way, and Zay Flowers had his way, and so did Charlie Kolar, apparently. And yeah, I mean, classic AFC North shootout.
Did you see Charlie Kolar's interview?
No.
It's like, because they ran a 3 tight end set, and he's like, yeah, they were worried about Mark Andrews and Isaiah Likely. They forgot about the fat white guy. That was him talking about his touchdown. I'm like, that's great. I love that.
Fair. Isaiah Likely had 2 touchdowns in this game. Kind of nuts. But
yeah, Isaiah Likely, good at football.
yeah, we've been new. But yeah, Bengals, if their defense could figure it out, they'd just be so good, dude. This offense is so good. But I fear that the defense will not figure it
So
out.
maybe. So, okay, who's the argument now for defensive coaches better than Brian Flores? Because last year the argument was Lou Anarumo. There's
Better
still
than Brian Flores.
Yeah, there's still a
Current
lot of
defensive
talent.
coordinators?
Yep. Right now.
I was gonna say Saleh is up there, but he's not.
Right. The issue with Saleh is, though, Saleh's always had insane talent on his defenses.
Oh, I'll give you one. It's probably he's probably not better, but it's I think
I just want to hear in the Spags. Yep. Spags is the only one I respect in that conversation right now, I think.
Spags is
because we've seen Spags do it with bad talent. Like, that's my thing.
Yeah.
Is like the Bengals defense have a lot of talent still, but like they have glaring holes. They don't have the talent they did a year ago. And you can tell by how much they suck now. Flores last year still had a really good defense with a team with 2 players anyone in the league had ever heard of.
Yeah, I made a TikTok about Robert Saleh getting fired, and a lot of the comments were saying that they think he should be the next DC of the Bengals. But
I don't know if you let Lou Anarumo go is the
I don't
issue.
think he's replacement level yet.
No. I think the Bengals are just really lacking talent.
Yeah. There's not much talent on their defense outside of Trey Hendrickson.
Like, they got Hendrickson,
Really.
they got Logan Wilson.
And Cam Taylor-Britt has had his moments.
Yep.
But he's like their only viable corner right now.
But, like, when that's the talent on your defense, you're in a rough spot.
Yeah. I mean, no DJ Reader.
DJ Hill is good, but he's a pure nose.
Yeah.
Like, he ain't making.
Yeah.
He's a space
no
eater.
No juice in the pass rush. No depth in the pass rush. Yeah. So
like, you have a top 10 linebacker and maybe a top 10 edge rusher, and then that's your defense, and that doesn't work. God, more bad football.
Broncos 34, Raiders 18. Gardner Minshew, it's been announced this week that he is benched. Aiden O'Connell is going to start in their next game. So, yes, Geek.
So when Devontae asked them to start Aiden O'Connell at the beginning of the season, why are the Raiders just so petty that they wait until they say Devontae's never playing another game for us again to then put in Aiden O'Connell? Like, that's
just
who your best player wanted. And stop pretending Gardner Minshew's good at football.
Yeah,
like,
Aiden O'Connell wasn't either, but like,
no. But if that's the guy your quarterback or your best player says, I want him to be the one throwing me the ball, maybe you give Devontae Adams what he wants. Maybe that's my thought. But instead, now you wait, and I don't know where you trade him to. Because if I'm Devontae, I don't really want to go to the Jets. That's not a real organization right now. Like, I want to go to the Ravens if I'm Devontae. If I'm honest, I want to go to a quarterback who actually gives a fuck about football.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Brock Bowers, good. Brock Bowers, good.
So, I don't know. I don't want to get too ahead of myself with Brock Bowers because he's a rookie. But me thinks there are not many tight ends better than him.
Me thinks he has a better argument for being top 10 than Sam Laporta did last year.
Yeah, me thinks that Brock Bowers
sucks this year, and it makes me so happy. Sam Laporta.
Oh. Yeah.
The talk of him being better than TJ Hawkinson last year made me hate that guy so much more, especially because I thought he was bad coming out of the draft. So him being bad now makes me really happy.
How many receiving yards does Bowers have this year? Oh, Lord.
Yeah, read some Bowers stats.
He's got 28 catches, 313 yards, and 1 touchdown.
Sam Laporta has 12 catches for 140 yards and no touchdowns.
Yeah.
I can't wait for TJ Hawkinson to have better numbers the first game he's back than Laporta's had all year.
Let's see Sam Laporta have a 57-yard touchdown.
Let's see Sam Laporta do anything.
Let's see him be dynamic enough to have a 57-yard touchdown.
Oh, do you have the box score open for this game?
I can only see the top four. Like, I only see Minshew, O'Connell, Abdullah, and Madison. That's it.
Oh, so you're looking at the Raiders. Don't look at the Broncos.
Okay.
Who led the Broncos in receiving yards?
I don't know how you feel about Josh Reynolds, so maybe you're asking this question in lieu of Josh Reynolds, but I feel like you respect him enough for it to not be.
No, there are two guys. Only 2 guys had more than 40 yards receiving for the Broncos. I don't know if you can guess the 2. One of them's a running back.
Is Jaleel McLaughlin one of them?
No.
Javonte?
Yeah. Javonte had 5 catches for 50 yards.
Okay, and then is the other one a tight end or a receiver?
Receiver.
Is it Lil Jordan Humphrey?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, dude, that doesn't surprise me, I guess.
Michael Burton had the same number of catches as Troy Franklin, Josh Reynolds, Marvin Mims.
Everybody except for Sutton, Humphrey, and Williams had 1 catch. Yeah.
And Jaleel McLaughlin had 3. He just also only had 3 yards.
Yeah. But yeah, Broncos They're weird.
Their
They're
offense
3-2.
sucks so hard, but their
Yeah, they're
defense
bad
is
offense.
so good. Okay, their
So
defense is
good.
weird. Also, shout out to the white guys, I guess, because we finally have a corner this century who got an interception. So, shouts out Riley Moss. He did
Riley
it
Moss.
before Cooper DeJean, which it might be time to have some conversations, man. Riley Moss might just be better. I think it's the aura of being named Moss.
Yeah, it probably helps. Probably helps.
Who the fuck is that?
Who?
The Broncos' leading tackler, Justin Stranad. Strnad. Stranad?
I have no idea who that is.
I don't either.
I'm gonna be real.
Also, so the Broncos' defense is the weirdest of all time. Like, they're so good because they just blitz every play and trust Pat Surtain and Riley Moss in man coverage.
Yeah.
That's going to go really poorly when Pat Surtain has his yearly bozo game.
True.
Pat Surtain is the Josh Allen of corners. He does have a bozo game where he lets Robbie Anderson go for 200 yards on him.
This has happened.
Happens every year. It's insane.
All right, I'm gonna grab a drink. Yap.
Who am I yapping about? Do I stay on this
I
game?
think we're on.
I'll yell about Bo Nix if you want, but I can move to Cardinals. All
you
right.
can move to Cardinals. Kyler good. Cardinals good.
I'm going to save my Brock Purdy talk for when you get back. I'm just going to yap about Kyler. So, Cardinals offense. Kyler Murray. Kyler Murray's so good at football. Their offensive line still sucks. Their receiving core is weird. Like, outside of Marvin Harrison and Trey McBride, I don't trust a lot of people. Greg Dortch can be really good, but he's not always. Like, it just isn't how it goes. And running the ball, I don't like James Conner. Trey Benson season couldn't come soon enough if it's me, but it's insane. I don't like it. Michael Wilson's weird. Amari DiMarcado is a Miller football hater, which is funny. But the Cardinals defense is not good. I'm shocked that they won this game because of, like, their defense isn't good. But the guy I want to talk about being Brock Purdy, I want to wait for Jake to hear this for some reason. Wow, Chad Ryland is a guy. Sorry, I'm just trying to look over the box score here. Budda Baker leading the team in tackles makes sense. Has their rookie defensive tackle played yet? Must not have, no. Interesting. Couple interceptions, though. Jonathan Gannon might deserve to have his name up there with Brian Flores and Spagnuolo as, like, best defensive play callers in football. Like, it's insane how good Jonathan Gannon can get the Cardinals to play defensively with the sheer lack of talent. Like, looking at their defense, right, they've got Budda Baker. And then what? Like, Max Melton, maybe, but he wears number 16, so no aura. Sean Murphy Bunting, maybe. Like, there's not a lot of talent, and you've got holding the Niners to 23. You've got that game you had against the Bills, right? Like, that's insane. Moving on, Niners defensively. Fred Warner probably should be Depoy, should be the favorite. Like, I think it's him. I think it's Patty Surtain and maybe Andrew Van Ginkel. Like, Gink has been awesome, but I don't really think there's an argument for anybody outside of Fred Warner right now. Fred Warner has been absolutely killer. Jake, get your drink faster, dog. This is insane. Nobody's here to just listen to me. Yep, that's not true, but jeez, I feel weird. But I don't know, man. Yeah, Nick Bosa had a pick in this game, which is weird. Only Leonard Floyd got a sack. That's also weird. Is Talanoa Hufanga any good anymore? I actually haven't watched any tape. Nope. I tried to look up bad. Talanoa Hufunga. Jesus. Oh no, Talanoa Hufunga got hurt again? Tore ligaments in his wrist, expected to be out at least a month. My God. What the hell? He's back. Welcome back. Talanoa Hufunga got hurt again. I was going to talk shit, but turns out he was just hurt. Because I was looking at everything. Because I saved the conversation I wanted to have for you to get back. Also, Jordan Mason's really good still. That's cool.
Yeah. Yes, indeed.
So, can we start having a real conversation about Brock Purdy?
Sure.
Based on the expectation he set for himself. I don't know if you remember this, but he said going into the season, the way he wants to play quarterback is to be better in the second half of games than he is in the first half and to help his team win. And all year he has been a below average quarterback in the second half. He cost this team this game. You blew a 10-point lead by throwing 2 picks in the second half. I'm sorry. That's on Brock Purdy. And I don't like the argument of, well, he's missing what? He's missing CMC. You still have a guy leading the league in rushing. You still have Brandon Ayuk. You still have George Kittle. You still have Juwan Jennings. You still have Deebo Samuel. And that's not enough to beat the Cardinals, maybe the worst defense in football. They have Budda Baker. That is the only real talent they have on that defense. Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Brock Purdy is what Brock Purdy and Jared Goff seem to sit at about the same level of quarterback, which is mid. And I don't know if you can really put him up higher. Yeah, he's going to have good games, right?
Mm-hmm.
But, like, so does Jared Goff. But day in, day out, he's never going to be more than a mid-level quarterback. Brock Purdy, Jared Goff, those are your replacement level quarterbacks in the NFL. If you're worse than them, you need a new quarterback. That's
agreed.
That's my view. And I don't know if you can actually win with either guy. Because when you get to a Super Bowl, you're going to have to play a Burrow, an Allen, a Herbert, a Mahomes. Like, you have to go up against these aliens, and neither of those guys can compete.
Right.
So,
we'll see.
It's unfortunate.
Yeah,
but that was a
okay
really
tonight.
bad look.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as we established earlier, because of this game, the Seahawks are frauds. They lost to the Giants 29-20.
Yeah. Tyrone Tracy Jr., 7.2 yards a carry, 129 yards on the ground.
That's not even why I want to call them frauds. Remember, the last coach to make Daniel Jones look like a competent quarterback was Ed Donatel, the worst defensive coordinator ever in the NFL history. The Seahawks let Daniel Jones look competent without Malik Neighbors. You are an unserious football team. You still had Tariq Woolen and Devon Witherspoon against, I'm sorry, who did they have out there? Darius Slayton and Theo Johnson.
Mm-hmm.
The Seahawks are not a real football team.
No. Yeah, they're not great.
Their offense is sick, other than their O-line sucks.
O-line sucks. Can have trouble running the ball sometimes.
Because of the O-line. Because if Ken can get a single shred of space, Ken Walker's one of the 5 best running backs in football right now.
Yeah.
So, like, their O-line sucks and their defense isn't real. In a bad way. Like,
defense is bad, yeah.
And
they're starting to torch them.
When their head coach is a defensive guy and they have real talent, unlike the Cardinals, the Cardinals defense should not look better than Seattle's defense ever. And it does.
Yeah.
That's not a good look for new head coach Mike McDonald.
Mm-hmm. Yep. But one thing I want to mention. Seahawks had a chance to tie this game.
Yeah.
And Instead, Bryce Ford Wheaton.
Yeah.
One of my first ever major draft agendas. Bryce
Yeah.
Ford Wheaton blocked and returned the field goal for the game sealing touchdown. My boy, for his ACL his rookie year, this dude is legit. But yeah,
Can we also free Dexter Lawrence? That dude's
poor
way
guy.
too good to be a Giant.
Poor guy.
I've seen
Yeah,
people,
he's
like,
so
not
good,
just
dude.
Vikings
He's
fans, I've
so good.
seen people propose trades. Like, do the Vikings offer their next 2 first-round picks for Dexter Lawrence? Yes. With the window being where it is right now, absolutely. You have the
Yep.
quarterback. You're not picking somebody in the first round next year that's better than Dexter Lawrence. You're just not. So, like, yeah.
Mm-mm.
Trade next year's first and the year after's first. Go get Dexter Lawrence. And make your one weakness in Minnesota, the interior of your D-line getting bullied, make that the strength of your defense suddenly.
Yeah, it would be good. Yeah.
Would
Dexter
the
Lawrence is too
Giants do
good.
that? I doubt it, because Dexter Lawrence is pretty young still, so they feel like he could be
Yeah,
on the team.
he's probably number one on their cornerstone list.
But also 2 first-round
Yeah.
picks when you don't have a quarterback or an O-line or a receiver or a defense.
Hey, yo, Neighbors. Hold up. Neighbors is really, really good.
The guy who's been hurt 2 times in 4 games. That's bad luck. That's bad luck.
What? He's been hurt once. He's played
No, he
every
got
game.
yeah, but he got a concussion midway through 2 weeks ago.
Yeah, he got hit dirty.
Yeah.
Yeah, not really his fault. I wouldn't say.
Gino's so good, and it makes me sad that the Seahawks are this bad. But they are probably the worst team in the NFC West right now.
Yeah.
And the Rams don't have any players.
Yep. True.
Speaking of the
Rams,
Jake, this one's all you.
Oh man,
I didn't watch this game, so it's all you.
It just feels good to win football. I don't care who it's against. It's just fun to win football games.
I know.
It really is.
Okay. Me and Miller were having this conversation before you get fully into Packers talk. I just want to talk about winning football games. Imagine being the loser who can't enjoy when their team wins. Like all the Vikings fans, I'm just waiting for the second shoe to drop, or
Dude,
we'll suck of it. Just enjoy the ride,
it's
man.
Just fun
Win games. It's good.
Football game.
Right. Just have fun. I'm having the time of my life.
Listen, man. Vikings have already won more games than
most people
6
predicted.
or 7 NFL teams. Well, I was gonna say they've already won more games than 6 or 7 teams will win all year.
Oh yeah.
So you just gotta enjoy the wins.
Enjoy the ride, man.
Yeah, it just feels good to win football games. Yeah. So couple things. Tucker Kraft is the best tight end on the Packers. He is so good. Huge dynamic catch and run. Stiff armed a guy. Loved it. Josh Jacobs is pretty good, but again, the beat up Rams team is hard to really tell. Jaden Reed is the guy. He is. Yeah. I think Jaden Reed is so good. Stepped up when Romeo Dobbs is being a baby and Christian Watson's made of glass. And it all comes down to him being their number 1 guy, and he stepped up big time for him. Overall, it was a solid game. Love, with the injury, the way that he's been operating is in the first half of these games. He's been like, "What can I do? What is my knee going to let me do?" And sometimes that leads to him being a little dumb. And in the second half of games, he understands what his limitations are and what he can do with his current health, and he starts to rip it and starts to heat up. That's what he's been doing.
Yep.
He's been going into the first half cold, scared of his knee, not really too confident. And once he realizes that he can play how he wants to play, he comes into the second half and he starts to be the Jordan Love that he's going to be. So I think once the knee is healed, we'll start seeing him put together more complete games.
I also think not many teams are gonna bully him the way the Vikings did, because not many teams can scheme it like that. Like,
and
not
even
many teams
Vikings,
can take it. No, but I mean that first half, where he's doing the feel it out, and not many teams are going to take advantage of the feeling it out process like they did.
Yeah.
Like the Vikings, the
Right.
Jets, the Broncos. That might be it for the teams who are going to like, oh, you're going to feel this out. Well, we're just going to gap you here and make it really tough to come back.
Yeah.
Most teams can't do that. So it's okay. Like the Rams.
Yeah. Yeah, and they play the Cardinals this next week. The Cardinals this week, and the
Yeah, they're
Cardinals
not going to punish you
will
for that.
no, their offense will probably do a number on our defense, but their defense will not. I think the reason why we're going to beat the Cardinals is because Love is not going to have to go through the first half of can I do because he won't be under constant pressure against a bad
True.
pass rush. Hopefully that's the case. But yeah, this was good to win football games, man, and saw some really good sparks out of some of the offensive guys. The Rams are just so beat up; it's hard to really evaluate what they are.
Kobe Turner good at football.
Kobe Turner's good. Stafford, despite all the injuries, did his best to keep them in this football game, and they stayed in it.
I think Jordan Whittington is
hard.
just Cooper Kupp, Puka Nacua Jr.
Yeah,
it's weird how they just keep finding these guys who keep doing the same thing. Yep.
Yeah, they just keep pumping these guys out. It's not a bad thing.
No,
they're doing pretty well for themselves. But yeah, Packers are good. Their defense is Halfley is doing a good job, and the offense is going to be really good if Romeo Doubs stops whining about not getting targets in Malik Willis games and
the
Christian
NFC
Watson
North is terrifying.
Best division in football,
easily.
Yeah, by a wide margin.
Yeah, because the worst team is either the Packers or the Bears, and neither of those are bad teams.
I think the worst team is the Lions.
I agree, but just looking at record, the Lions have looked like the worst football team in this division easily.
The Lions, yeah, and even they're not like horrible,
no,
right?
No,
like they're like a.
They just look that way because so far Jared Goff is the worst quarterback in the division.
I don't know if it's mathematically possible, but I would think that out of all the we
could all four make the playoffs. We could.
I was gonna say in recent history, this is probably the best chance we've had at all four teams.
Yes.
In a division making it to the playoffs.
Because the only division where there's competition is the South.
Yeah. Yeah, because of the 7 seed, I think it's mathematically possible for all four teams. Yep. I don't think it was before.
Nope. But it is now, and it could happen this year.
And it could happen because they're all 3-2, except for the Lions, who are 3-1 because of the bye. Everyone's 3-2 except for the Lions and the Vikings.
Yep. The Lions probably might be 3-2 soon. Maybe not. I don't know who they play this week.
I think the Lions play. I swear it's the.
Because I know it's the
Cowboys.
Vikings next week.
The Cowboys.
And
Cowboys.
I would say that'll be a good game, but Kevin O'Connell off a bye, I would be scared if I'm the Lions defense.
Yeah. Yeah, and also the Lions will be coming up with a game against the Cowboys, which will be a tough one for them. So, who knows?
Maybe? I don't know. The Cowboys defense sucks.
Yeah,
so.
True. Speaking of the Cowboys, they eked out the win against the Steelers.
Justin Fields' bozo gene is showing again.
Yeah, he's back. Sad.
Also, Dak Prescott tried to kill Jalen Tolbert for some reason.
Yeah.
No more kids for Jalen Tolbert because Dak couldn't, in a clean pocket, throw to a wide open receiver. That was weird.
Yeah, he's mad.
That was bad.
He's mad that he didn't have. Yeah. Yeah.
And then Tolbert saves the game anyways. So instead of talking about Dak being bad, he made a game-winning drive. Cowboys
stink. Yeah. I think their defense stinks, and their receiver room outside of CD is trash. There's nothing there outside of CD, and they're just a bad football team. So.
And the Steelers are mid.
McCarthy's still their head coach. Yeah.
And for the same reason, the Cowboys really suck because of their head coach. The Steelers are mid when they shouldn't be because of their head coach.
Yeah. Yeah. So overall, not a great game, but Cowboys eke it out. And then the Chiefs are the only other 5-0 team as they each passed Saints 26-13.
So the
I
Saints are
just,
really bad.
yeah, the Saints are just not. Yeah, I can't believe anybody
But
took
they
them
beat the
seriously.
Panthers and the Cowboys.
Who we've learned both.
Yeah. Rashid Shaheed, good at football, though.
Rashid Shaheed is great, man.
Chris
Rashid Shaheed
Olave
is great.
might be bad at football.
Now he's got Derek Carr as his quarterback. I'm giving him the benefit of the doubt.
Derek Carr hasn't been the issue, though.
No, he is.
I don't think so. I don't know.
No,
We'll
no,
see.
he is.
Apparently, Spencer Rattler's coming in, so.
I like Spencer Rattler. Assuming. But I like Spencer Rattler.
He's weak mentally, and that bugs me.
Maybe he's not anymore. He was.
I don't think he grew out of that. I think he just keeps running from his problems. In the NFL, there's no transfer portal. What are you going to do now, buddy? I don't know, man. The Chiefs are weird. Mahomes is still playing like shit, and they're still winning by double digits.
Yep. That's what terrifies me about them is that they're 5-0 and haven't even come close to the peak of their offensive powers yet.
Juju Smith-Schuster is back, though.
Yeah, he's back, and Xavier Worthy's good, and Kareem Hunt
is good enough to keep them afloat while they wait for Isaiah Pacheco.
Yes, certainly is.
Which is all that they need to do is stay afloat.
Kelsey back, so yeah, everything. Yeah, they're 5-0, haven't even come close to their peak offensively. I think the Chiefs are still really, really good, and once they hit that peak, it's going to be wraps.
Yep.
Yeah, we're gonna zip through our picks now. Me and Miller picked the Niners, and Geek picked the Seahawks for Thursday night, or this after the game. So that game already happened as of recording, which means that me and Miller are already up one on Geek coming into this week, which is crucial.
It won't matter though.
And all right, I guess we'll start with the London game. Jaguars, Bears.
Did we queen sweep it or no?
I mean, I don't have Miller's picks pulled up on my phones.
I got it
on me, but I'm assuming Miller's picking the Bears, and I'm picking the Bears,
and I'm picking the Bears,
and you're picking the Bears.
The Jaguars suck, man. I just can't.
Yeah, no, they're bad.
And the Bears' defense is really good, and the Jags' defense is so bad. I think Caleb's gonna look like he did last week again. So unless that London fog really hits the Bears, I just don't see it.
Buccaneers, Saints. Buccaneers at the Saints. I'm gonna take the Bucks by a mile.
We're all queen sweeping the Bucks.
Fair.
Spencer Rattler is apparently not gonna win in his debut, according to Run the North.
Don't think so. Yeah. Commanders at the Ravens. This is an interesting one. This is a really interesting
I don't think it is. Washington's defense sucks.
It's interesting to a point, but I am taking the Ravens.
Yeah,
it's interesting to a point where the Commanders' offense could be silly and
we are
be
all
good.
taking the Ravens.
All right. So other than Thursday night game, we're clean sweeping so far.
There are disagreements on maybe the next game. I don't know which one's next to
Cardinals, Packers. I'm taking the Packers.
Miller and I are taking the Cards.
Fair. You hate the Packers.
Yeah, I mean that's it. It's mostly bias, but also Kyler, which means also bias.
Yeah. Colts at Titans.
Oh God, another bad football game.
Flacco playing?
Right now, no. But I don't think there's an official announcement.
I'm still gonna take the Colts regardless. I think.
So Miller.
I'm gonna take the Colts regardless.
Miller is also taking the Colts. I have been struggling with this decision. Because I don't trust the Colts on the road.
Yeah, that's fair.
And Anthony, especially since Anthony Richardson did practice fully today, so he's probably back.
Yeah.
I don't know. The Titans are so weird, man. I feel like I can't pick Will Levis. I also just feel really weird picking every road team because it feels like that's what I'm doing. But I'm also going to take the Colts. I had to
Okay.
talk my way through it one more time. Because before now,
Fair
I had
enough.
picked the Titans. I just didn't. I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't feel confident about either team in that game at all.
No, I don't either. Texans, Patriots, and Drake May's debut.
Yeah, I'm taking the Texans by
Texans. I
80.
mean,
Miller's
he
also.
might die. He might die.
Ooh, let's go. One more queen
Um,
sweep.
Browns, Eagles. Yeah, give me the Eagles.
Queen sweep of the Eagles.
Okay, and then of course we have Chargers, Broncos. Give me the Chargers.
Queen sweep of the Chargers. Is this week
Oh
really going to
Lord.
come down to last night?
Thursday night game and the Packers. Yeah, that's going to be the two big ones. Looks like.
Ooh, maybe not. Ugh.
Actually, you know what? Screw it. Give me the Broncos. I'm going different on that
Bro's
one.
just changing up mid-game.
Defense is really good.
True.
Thing I'm banking on.
Justin Herbert better.
Yeah. Steelers, Raiders. Mhm. The diabolical side of me wants to
I'm
pick
picking the
AFC
Raiders.
in this season debut, but I'm going to go with the
I'm
Steelers.
I'm taking the Raiders, man. I don't
AOC
trust.
versus the Steelers defense.
Well, no, I'm just more. I don't trust Justin Fields, and Max Crosby is psycho. But Miller is also taking the Steelers.
Makes sense. Let's see. Falcons at Panthers. Give me Kirko.
Yeah, it's got to be Cuzzo.
If he
Same for
plays anything
Miller.
like he did against the Bucks, they'll win by $1 billion. So
That's why he's Kirk. He won't do that. They're gonna win by 4.
no, he won't. Yeah.
I don't. So
Lions. Oh, keep going.
a couple weeks ago, the Vikings Giants game was the first time since like 2019 the Vikings had won by 17 or more points, which means like Kirk Cousins has not won a game by double digits ever.
Yeah.
Right. So
Yeah.
like, dude, Kirk just wants to win by 3 every game. That's his goal.
Yeah. Yeah. Lions heading to Jerry's World in Dallas.
I hate it, but I think we're clean sweeping the Lions. Me and Miller have taken the Lions.
I'm taking the Cowboys.
Bro wants to be different. I respect it.
And I think the Lions are bad, dude. I know the Cowboys are too, but I think the Lions are bad.
See,
I
the
tried
Lions
Dak
can
when
run
that
the
trust
football.
off.
Right. The issue is the Lions can run the football, and the Cowboys can't stop the run.
Yeah, it's a shootout, but I'm
Monty and
Cowboys.
Jameer are just going to run all over the place.
Bengals, Giants. We want to take the Giants so bad.
I'm taking the Bengals. Miller's
But I
taking the
won't
Bengals.
because that Bengals offense should be a hot knife through butter. If
Should.
what we saw against the Ravens is true. And then Bills, Jets Monday night.
I have to switch my pick for that one. I initially wanted the Bills. But look at the history of interim coaches. Normally you win your first game as the interim coach.
True. I'm going to still take the
Bills are also exposed as frauds, and the Jets defense is real. Those Bills receivers are going to have no room. I'm taking the Jets. You're taking the Jets. Miller's taking the Bills.
Yeah, Miller's high on the Bills for some reason.
Josh
I don't know
Allen.
what it is. I really likes him. Yeah, that's fair. But yeah, now that we got our picks done, I believe that is our show, Geeky Boy.
No concern for me this week. Vikings bye week.
Kings bye week, no stress for Geek.
Actually,
Miller
this
will
is just
get
really helpful. We get to bring up Aaron Jones, get to come back from
Yeah.
that injury.
Miller will get his football out of the way early on Sunday morning. He can just watch the rest of the games at peace, but I have to stress through the 1 o'clock window.
There you go. I have no stress.
But,
I'm just watching football.
yeah, man, just a football day for Geek this
Yeah.
week. But we want to thank you guys so much for listening to this episode of the Rolling podcast. If you did enjoy this episode, please help us out by following us on Spotify. Give us a rate and a review over there. And if you're on YouTube, give us a like, comment, subscribe, hit that bell so you don't miss an episode. And we will see you guys next week.
Bye.